People that are buying real estate before and today, you ask them the basic questions, they can't even answer it. You know what they're happy about? They were invited to the party. They were invited that they bought real estate. And then I tell them, no disrespect, that's not a win. I know it's the trend now, but it's no different than what happened in 2004 when I first started. So when you see people doing that, you're not doing anything new. We've been seeing that. This is why I tell most people, they're gonna hate me when I say it, most people should not be doing the BRRRR strategy.
Why is that?
It's the death of most people. Most people that are just starting out have no business touching the equity in this property. You have no business doing the BRRRR strategy because the BRRRR strategy is an art. I got screwed for 12 years, 11, 12 years before I realized that. My business model for people is that I flip real estate.
Okay.
I flip real estate to then utilize the proceeds of a flip to buy me income producing properties. So now, people hear the word flip and they compartmentalize me into one area and thinking that, oh, he means just flipping in the conventional sense. But I tell people that the entire business of investing in real estate is a flip.
Explain that.
Okay. So there's three major entry points of investing in real estate. What's number one? A wholesaler. What does a wholesaler do? A wholesaler gets a property under contract at the right price point to ultimately flip that property to somebody like you and I, right? What's the next one? A flipper. What does a flipper do? A flipper gets a property under contract, renovates that property to ultimately put that property back on the market to ultimately flip that property to an end buyer. The third one is buy and hold. What does a buy and holder do? A buy and holder gets a property under contract at the right price point, renovates that property, rents that property to ultimately flip that current mortgage into a long-term mortgage for passive income. The entire business of investing in real estate is a flip. I got screwed for 12 years, 11, 12 years before I realized that. So when the epiphany hit me, when I got on my third and last, we all failed, but when my last punch in the face when I got wiped out, it was back in 2011 or 12, I got wiped out. When I looked at the first 3 times I got wiped out, I started investing at the end of 2003, 2004. So from 2003 all the way to 11, 12, I was getting punched in the face, wiped out. I kept cutting corners. I kept using excuses. I kept wondering, oh yeah, the market is making me some money. In 2010, it was similar to the pandemic. All you had to do was throw crap to the wall. Everybody was looking like a superstar. So I'm thinking I'm doing something until a year later, I lost it all again. So the last time when I get wiped out again, I'm investing in Atlanta. I'm living in New York. I tell everybody, if you're a brand new investor starting out in real estate, you should not be investing out of state where it requires you to catch an airplane ride. Just starting out, you should not be doing it. I know it's the trend now, but it's no different than what happened in 2004 when I first started. So when you see people doing that, you're not doing anything new. We've been seeing that. So what happened is now the property when I bought it, the acquisition was good, but I didn't know how to manage the rehabbing, especially because I'm from New York trying to manage.
It's so hard.
Completely.
It's
so
ridiculous. When
I lost and I was left with $90,000. That was one of the best things that happened to me. So when I lost that monies, I came back home. Understand, my parents have been watching their son getting his ass served for over 12 years. So when I come to go see my father, go downstairs to see my father, Haitian parents are extremely nosy. So my father says to me, what's going on with that house that you're doing in Atlanta? So we talking in our language and I say, yeah, you know. And he says to me, no, what happened? I said, hey man, I lost it all again. I lost money again. My father was so disappointed, 1. 2, he sees his son getting punched in the face. Then he says to me, you done, right? You're not doing this anymore. I told him, yo, Dad, I got it. I know what to do. I know what to do now. So all of those trials and tribulations that we talked about, I said, I know what to do now, which partially where that concept was going in my mind was that everything about real estate is a flip. You make your money on the buy. When you understand proper acquisition, everything falls in line. Everything falls in line. People that are buying real estate before and today, you ask them the basic questions, they can't even answer it. You know what they're happy about? They were invited to the party. They were invited that they bought real estate. And then I tell them, No disrespect, that's not a win. Simply buying real estate and getting to the closing table is not a win.
Yeah.
When you ask them, what was your projected goals on it? Are you flipping this? Are you wholesaling it? Are you keeping it for long term? They cannot even articulate it. So they're finding out after the fact. They bought themselves a dud.
Yep. So I said yesterday we were recording a video for Deal Flow, which is Cameron's kind of coaching business. And I said, deal analysis is the number one most important skill an investor can possibly have. I mean, yeah, finding leads, great. You should do it. Managing properties, amazing. But knowing how to run the numbers, that's looking in the future. And if you can do that.
I can tell you, I find me a multifamily property. I already know what price I got to get it at, to what it's going to cost me to fix it, that by the time I fix it, what the rents will be, to what the mortgage is going to be. And I could tell you within a really strong parameters, Brandon, I'm gonna do about $4,000 in net income from this property. Then I understood the art of forced appreciation.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to wait 7 years for this property to supposedly appreciate enough that I could tap into it? This is why I tell most people, they're gonna hate me when I say it, most people should not be doing the BRRRR strategy.
Why is that?
It's the death of most people. Most people that are just starting out have no business touching the equity in this property. You have no business doing the BRRRR strategy because the BRRRR strategy is an art.
How does somebody build a rental portfolio if they do not have money without doing the BRRRR strategy?
Well, here's the thing. Why I say the BRRRR strategy is extremely dangerous. The manner of how you're buying, I already know because there's a brotherhood in this business to understand. So when I speak or you speak, we already can finish each other's sentences because we understand. But for the people that are on the outside that don't understand, ask us. So when you're talking about the BRRRR strategy, you're not buying nobody's turnkey property waiting for appreciation.
Oh, turnkey rentals is the dumbest. Yeah. Yes.
Can I get a handshake, please?
Hey, yes, sir.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is when people are buying, for example, going back to the pandemic, people bought their properties, and the majority of the people that bought their properties were buying their properties with a 2%, 3% interest rate. Who cares about your interest rate? What you don't even realize is that now you're stuck. When I say that, they get offended. I said, don't get offended. Let's just do the math. You just bought a property the odds are, if you're using regular conventional financing like FHA, VA, or any of those other type of programs, the odds are more so than not, you're buying a turnkey property.
Yep.
You agree with me, right?
Yeah.
So everybody, you see, I'm not crazy, right? I'm not crazy. When you understand that, so now given the fact that the people bought it at the top of the market, there is no equity. So you know what you're doing now? You're waiting for the market to move. What happened with the pandemic? A lot of artificial appreciation happened, so people think that that's the way the market works, and it doesn't. So now you bought a property hypothetically for $300,000. It's worth $300,000, and the realtor that's supposed to be having your back told you, and the mortgage lender, don't worry, in about a year it'll be worth $400,000. You got a 2% interest rate, a 3% interest rate. You're barely able to afford it now at the 2%, 3% interest rate. So now what you're gonna do, the BRRRR strategy, right? You will get approved because it fell within the parameters. So you did the BRRRR strategy. Now your mortgage went up, your principal balance went up. What did you do with the difference? You're using it to go buy your next property, right? Here's what I tell everybody. If you do that method or you use the HELOC method, what I like to call is that you have a phantom mortgage now. Why? Because you got the primary residence, and now you got the money that you pulled out, or you do the HELOC, there go your second mortgage because it got to be paid back, and now you used it to buy the next property. Now when you bought the next property with the same mindset that you approached the first property, now you over-leveraged with the third property. Now, sir, ma'am, how are you gonna pay off that loan that you borrowed or the HELOC that you borrowed so that you could keep growing? You can't. So now what happens? You got a portfolio of a primary residence, you got a portfolio of a HELOC or a refi amount that you use, then you use the same property for a third property, and all it takes is one of them to give you a problem, and it all comes down. That's how serious this is. So I tell people, don't do the BRRRR strategy, because when I do the BRRRR strategy, I'm in and out. I'm in and out in weeks to months. If I'm using a home equity line of credit, the property I'm doing a home equity line of credit debt to value is maybe 50%. I'm using the home equity line to acquire that next property, as you're saying, and that home equity line, I'm buying it in the same manner I bought the first one, so I'm forced appreciating that one too. So what do you think happens when I go to the bank? Hey, sir, we can talk about the examples of this. Hey, I got this property. How much is it worth? Well, it's worth X amount. Damn, you only at 50%, bro. Do you want more money? No, I don't want no more money. I want what it cost me to acquire, repair, which is more than enough to pay back that HELOC. Now I got the HELOC paid off, so I still got the money to play. The primary is still low with the cash flow, and now I got a new property that I'm gonna get a HELOC on that one now too.
Dude, this has been an amazing show. Absolutely love this. Excited to get this thing out and excited to read your book. So
Oh,
I can't
appreciate
wait.
that. I can't wait to give it to you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.